our next problem is going to be 1/2 times 1/2. And what this really means is 1/2 of 1/2. Again, I'm going to represent this one that we have in green and this one that we have in pink. So some of you might be wondering, when would we ever need to know this? Well, if I had 1/2 of a bag of chips and my brother wanted some, and I said, sure, I'll give you 1/2. Well, I'm not giving him 1/2 of a whole bag. I'm only giving him 1/2 of what I have, which is 1/2. Or if I had my cousin, her husband is a farmer, and let's say on his land, he split it up between him and his sister. And so they each had 1/2 of an acre or whatever, I don't know, farmer language. And say on 1/2 of it, he wanted to plant corn. So on 1/2 of his 1/2, he would plant corn. Well, how much of his field would be corn? Or how much of the bag is my brother actually getting? That's when this comes into play. Or let's say you have 1/2 of a pizza and you eat 1/2 of it. How much is left? Or how much did you eat? That's when problems like this with multiplying fractions comes in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to split our box in 1/2. And then we're going to mark in 1/2. Then we're going to split it. We're going to ignore, pretend like it's not there, and then we're going to split it in 1/2 again. And we're going to slash the other 1/2. Well, where do my two colors overlap? Right there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of my whole, and where they overlap is 1. So if I had 1/2 a bag of chips and I gave 1/2 of it to my brother, he would get 1/4 of the bag. Does that make sense? And this is our best answer. We know because it is what kind of fraction? Unit. So let's model it down here on the bar. We're going to split this bar into 1/2. I'm going to draw our line long. We're going to slash in 1/2, so we're representing that we have 1/2 of our model. And then we split each of these into how many pieces? 2. And then we mark off one of them because that's what our numerator says. And then we're going to shade in. And we notice that it is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Of those 4 pieces, 1. Our final practice problem is going to be 2/5 times 5/6. So what this really means is I'm taking 2/5 of 5/6. Well, what's the first fraction I model? This one or this one? Hopefully we're saying the second one. If I had 5/6 of a pan of brownies and I gave 2/5 of them to my brother, how much of the pan would he have eaten? So we're going to model this one first. We're going to split this into sixths. We want how many of them? 5. Now we're going to split this into fifths because we're going to take 2/5 of our 5/6. So we got to split this into fifths. And we want how many? 2. Now we're going to shade in, or not shade, we're going to highlight the places where our pink and green overlap. So now we're going to try to figure out how many pieces there are. There are how many pieces total? 30. And we shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 30ths. But we stop and we observe because this is the end of our problem. And let's check it with our math first. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10 and 5 times 6 is 30. So we are going to simplify this because we know it can be simplified, hopefully. 10 goes into both 10 and 10 goes into 30. Because we found our greatest common factor. If we need to. Oh, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's my baby rainbow. So I have 10. I have 15 and I have 30. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 1/3 would be our answer. Jack or whoever you're sharing the brownies with would get 1/3 of the pan because they wouldn't get 2/5 of the whole pan because this is only how much we have right here. If that makes sense. So we only have 5/6 of it. He wants 2/5. How much is that? Now we're going to model the same problem on the bar. So we're going to split it into sixths first. Remember, we're drawing long lines. We want 5 of them. We're going to shade in 2 of each one of these fifths. Not shade, block. Then we're going to highlight where they overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We have 30 pieces total, but they only overlap on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we can simplify this, weeks, and our answer is 1/3. So remember, again, when you're being asked to multiply and there's a model, you need to make sure that you model it. If it says please model, don't just do the procedure, because that's not what is the most important thing. This is the easiest thing to do when you multiply straight across. But it's all about the model. Can you represent what it's supposed to look like? We don't just draw 30 and shade in 10 of them. That's not representing it. We need to show what we have, what we took, what we're giving, whatever that means, are 2/5 of 5, 6. So make sure that you're representing your problem, not your answer. Your answer gets represented when you represent your problem correctly. Okay?